Guys, welcome to another episode of the McKool channel. I've got Ella Fitzgerald playing, and we tonight are going to learn how to make vegan sliders, or they're a good substitute to pulled pork sliders. All right, I love pulled pork, but if you can't please everybody, and if there's people who just want to change, okay, you don't want to eat all that meat. This is a good substitute. It is not a compromise. It is delicious. It is just as good as a slow pulled pork crock pot slider. So everything you see here is basically what you need. You can go with the bare bones with this, all right? And this makes it vegan. This is the most important thing. Oktoberfest, this is what you need to drink while you're making this recipe. Okay, so let's get to it. Everything here, if you have a Trader Joe's nearby, you can get everything at Trader Joe's. The broccoli kale slaw, the barbecue sauce, make sure it's vegan, whole roasted cashews, these are optional. You don't even have to get this if you don't want to. But the jackfruit is a must, okay? This right here is the core of it, and then get some kind of vegan buns if you want to keep it vegan, okay? Or you can eat it in a salad or whatnot. So the seasoning for this, which is also optional because you can just put barbecue sauce and let that season your jackfruit, but I highly recommend making the seasoning. The seasoning, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of chili powder, half teaspoon of salt, and a half teaspoon of black pepper, and you'll make this seasoning that you're going to put on your jackfruit. Now you're going to be like, oh, what does jackfruit look like? Well, jackfruit looks like this, all right? It doesn't look like pork, does it? But once this baby's heated up and you take a fork and you slice it apart, it looks just like pork, and it is amazing. You can also, for your date, get him some flowers, which are also at Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's, if you're listening, I'm going to look for that endorsement. But on that note, let's go outside for a second, because there's something I need to tell you really quick. All right? Guys, if you get flowers that are like these are lilies, okay? Don't make the same mistake I did. If you are going to get flowers for your girl and she has a cat, take out the lilies, all right? Lilies are highly poisonous to cats, and chances are you won't get a second date, especially if you're trying to date a veterinarian. All right, so anyway, back to the recipe. You can use any kind of barbecue sauce that you want, as long as it's vegan. I like my barbecue sauce, like I like my women, hot and spicy. So I chose the sriracha roasted garlic barbecue sauce. But basically, we're going to drain the jackfruit. We are going to cook it in a skillet over oil for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then we are going to toss in this seasoning. We're going to coat that and cook it together. And then we're going to put 3/4 of a cup of the barbecue sauce, maybe some water to thin it down to a sauce, and let that simmer for 20 to 30 minutes. The longer the simmer, the deeper the flavor. All right, so we got these puppies in here. They're cooking. They've been coated. Cooked about 2 to 3 minutes just to get a little brown flavor on there. And then that's where we're going to add in the sriracha barbecue sauce. All right, give it a little flavor and just let it simmer. Very easy, guys. You can make this in literally 30 minutes. All right, and this right here, broccoli kale slaw, oh my gosh, you could eat this by itself. It is so good. I would make it just the way it comes in the packet, seasoning and all, dressing and all. If you don't want to use this, you can go even just more bare essentials and just get some red cabbage. Cut up some red cabbage, maybe slice some carrots in it, make just a little slaw to put on your sliders when you eat them. But basically, there's nothing to it. You put together that seasoning mix, you throw in the jackfruit, and you just coat it and cook here for 2 minutes, and then just simmer 20 to 30 minutes in the barbecue sauce. You might need to add a little water to it to make it a little sauce. And then after this heats up, we're going to shred it with a fork, and we're going to make pork-like looking substance out of this jackfruit. And you're going to love it. I get major points. All right, guys. So we got our jackfruit simmering right now in the barbecue sauce, 3/4 of a cup. I added a little bit of water in there to make it a little sauce here. We're going to let this simmer because I like a deep flavor. You can go to 20 to 35. I'm going to go for 35. So I'm going to tell Alexa, set my alarm for 35 minutes. And while she's getting that going, I'm going to tell you about this right here. So this broccoli kale slaw is really good. Like I said, you don't have to use it. You can use cabbage. When it's in its raw form like this, totally vegan. I can eat it like this, put this on top, put it on the slider, make sure it's a vegan roll. If you don't have vegans, you can use the sauce. This sauce would be great, except it's made with egg yolk. So if you want to keep it vegan, just use the contents in the bag. It's amazing. And then this is also optional. Whole roasted cashews. You can roast your own. You can not use any of those. You know, heck, even the sliders on their own are good. But if you want the whole kit and caboodle, the way I recommend it, do this, get you some buns, and make you some vegan sliders. And we'll be back in 35 minutes, and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, guys, we've been simmering our jackfruit over here. And as you can see, it's starting to look like pulled pork. Okay, people will not even be able to tell the difference. All right, and how you're going to do this from your full pieces of jackfruit to making it look like shredded jackfruit, let's go to Shred Vision. All right, so we are now in Shred Vision.